Hey, what's up, everybody? Review Man here, and today I am here to tell you there are some movies that don't need to be remade. Hollywood's all the time trying to make up these movies and all this other stuff, but there are some movies that just are fine the way they are. And today I am bringing you a review of one of those movies. That movie is Matilda. Matilda is about this young girl named Matilda Wormwood. Her father, played by Danny DeVito, is a stolen car part salesman. Is a car seller. And Matilda is not like the rest of her family. But that right there, that's Danny DeVito, Harry Wormwood. That's her mother, Zinnia Wormwood, played by the lovely Rhea Perlman. And this is Michael, her brother. I don't know who he's played by, nor do I care. And Mara Wilson or whoever plays Matilda. Matilda is a young girl. She's about 6 and a half. She's about 7. She starts in the movie being born, of course. This is like the origin story. And she how do I say this? She's not like the rest of her family. Her mother is a bingo-holic. Her dad is a liar and a used car salesman. Most like most car salesmen are. And her brother, we don't know much about her brother. It's never emphasized what her brother does. But anyway, let's get on with the story. She's a talented, gifted young girl who figures out through the power of her dad yelling at her, and her dad everybody, like all the adults, doubting her and all this other stuff. She has the power of telekinesis. Telekinesis is you can make objects fly. You can get that jacket over there and you can say, "Come here." And so Matilda wants a little bit more out of life, and she's not like the rest of her family. And then one day, whenever she turns about 6 or 7, she decides, I want to go to school. I'm tired of living life. I'm tired of living life as not having any friends, not having any education. I want to go to school. And then her dad meets a woman named. This is her dad's car dealership. It's like a used car. It's like a bunch of used cars and stuff like that. And he also put stolen car parts inside the car. And he's pretty much a liar and a thief and all that, as much as I explained, buying stolen car parts off the black market. And he's being tracked down by the cops. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself in the story. And then one day, he meets her, Agatha. I'll show you more of the Trunchbull in a minute. But he meets her. Her name is Miss Trunchbull. She runs Cruncham Hall Elementary School, and she runs it as a bit of she runs it less of a school and more like a military boot camp type thing. And even though she is a principal at the school, she hates all kids. She hates all kids, as I will explain to you a little bit later in the story. Then we jump ahead to whenever Matilda's in school. Sorry, getting a little scatterbrained. Matilda's in school, and she's finally meets the principal in 3, 2, 1. That's Lavender, Matilda's best friend. Her best friend. And I'm about to say the only black girl in the movie, but there's like a whole class full of them. There's like the class has got like 5 or 6 of them. And so Matilda's trying to figure out why the person would do this. And this room right here is called the Chokey. That's like the room in the principal's office that she sends bad kids to. Hold on. Sorry guys, I drank my coffee cup. Got that done at Myrtle Beach. And so she sending the kids to the chokey, which is this closet with like a dripping pipe and spikes and all that in the wall. I'm not even halfway through the movie yet. And this is Matilda not believing that about the chokey and all this other stuff. She gets locked in the chokey because her dad sold the principal a lemon, a bad car. And this is Miss Trunchbull. I'll go back up. That's Matilda. She's got a scared look on her face, like, what? That's our principal? Ah! I'd be scared too if that was my principal when I was in elementary school. And that is the face of Agatha Trunchbull. She was in the Olympics in 1972, javelin, hammer throw, shot put, and now she runs a elementary school like a military boot camp or whatever. And this little girl right here is Amanda Thripp. She's not been on Miss Trunchbull's good side, as you will see here in a second. She's Miss Trunchbull. She has pigtails, and Miss Trunchbull throws her over the fence. And this lady right here, go back a little bit. This lady right here is Matilda's teacher, Jennifer Honey. Jennifer Honey has a dark past, and she has a dark past, and her dark past will be, she's actually Miss Trunchbull's niece. Okay, and she's Miss Trunchbull's niece. And so she finds out that Matilda's brilliance. Finds out about her brilliance, and then she goes to tell the teacher, Miss Trunchbull, that she's exceptionally brilliant. And I wonder if she'd be better in advanced class. You can't handle it. And then Miss Trunchbull comes back with this brilliant line. You can't handle little brat. You want to pawn her off one of the other teachers. That's just how wicked of a woman. Come on. There you go. That's just how wicked of a woman Miss Trunchbull is. And Miss Honey knows that there's something brilliant inside of Matilda. And then we go on a little bit further, and this is one of my favorite scenes right here. Miss Trunchbull calls a whole assembly to pretty much punish this boy right here. That boy's name is Bruce Balk-Trotter, as she says in the movie. Bruce Balk-Trotter. Would little Brucey come to the front, please? Good God, that woman's scary. I'd be scared to have her as a principal, wouldn't you? But anyway, on with the story. And she pretty much holds an assembly to pretty much make him eat cake for stealing some cake, and from sneaking in, because she accused him of stealing some cake from the school, and that belonged to her. And I don't know about you, but if I had a woman like that, she don't need no cake. I really don't need no cake either. But this boy right here, Bruce Balk-Trotter, I mean, look at that. That crap is scary. Good God. And she's about to feed us some cake, and he eats the whole cake. He eats after he finishes off. I mean, this woman right here, her name's Cookie. She's ugly. This one right here, her name's Cookie. She's a school cafeteria chef, and she pretty much made this entire big old cake for him to eat as part of the punishment. As part of a punishment, and that's a rotten old woman, mean old lady. I think a good amount of teachers that the principal just hired, because Trunchbull likes torture, and she thinks of these kids as Trunchbull likes torture, and she thinks of these kids as like not kids, but she just hates kids. She just wants to see them suffer and all this other stuff because Miss Trunchbull is pretty much a dark woman because she had a dark past, and so I'm going to get to that in a second. And so he's eating the cake, and Trunchbull's liking the torture, and all the kids in the assembly, they're saying, "Oh, he can't eat all that cake. He cannot eat all that cake." And so he eats cake by cake, and Matilda decides to get up and say, "I gotta do something. I gotta do something about this." And so she starts saying, "Sorry." So she starts saying, "You can do it, Bruce. You can do it, Bruce." Bruce like cheering him on, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, you can do it. Go, Bruce. Yeah, cheering on." And then that's causing the Trunchbull to lose her power over the kids of fear. She's like she's like if Freddy Krueger became a principal, or a little bit worse. Freddy might have nightmares about Miss Trunchbull, and everybody's like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, she mashes a plate over his head, like you just seen right there, and make the children stay about 5 hours after school and copy from a dictionary. And so the movie's going on. The dad's Harry Wormwood's not believing. Harry Wormwood's not believing that he's being tracked down by the cops, and the mom's oblivious to the whole thing. The mom thinking that they're Ace powerboat salesmen, and the two cops are played by the dude that played Pee Wee Herman and this other old dude. And so Matilda, she's going on through the movie telling her dad that she's being tracked down by the cops, and the movie goes on a little bit. Trunchbull gets mad at is pissed off at Harry Wormwood for selling her a car, for selling her the lemon. It should be called, instead of Wormwood Motors, Lemon Motors. Nobody would buy it. But anyway, I know a few dealerships like that, but nobody would buy it. And so she locks Matilda in the chokey, and she goes and teaches Miss Honey's class one or two times in the movie. And so Lavender, she puts a newt in Miss Trunchbull's drinking water to try to for a little bit of revenge or payback. This whole movie is pretty much a revenge tale slash family comedy, because Matilda's trying to get on revenge of the people that done her wrong. Miss Trunchbull doesn't care. Her parents, and Matilda's parents, Harry and Zinnia, don't care about her, and pretty much don't care. And so anyway, the movie's going on. Miss Honey goes to get Matilda out of the chokey, and then Trunchbull's pretty much pissed as it is. And then Matilda finds out that she has powers. And this is the scene right here coming up where Matilda finds out about Miss Honey's past. Miss Honey tells her about the story about her mother. Tells her about a story. In fact, this is the part that's happening right now. Miss Honey tells Matilda about the story about her father and her mother. She used to live in the house that Miss Trunchbull's living in now, and telling about how her mom, this little girl that's mom died, and the dad supposedly killed himself. But before the mom died, the mom's sister came down and told her, helped take care of the girl, and then the dad died, leaving sole custody of the girl to the aunt. And turns out that Miss Honey and Miss Trunchbull are aunt and niece. A very bad aunt and niece relationship. I mean, I got a good relationship with my aunts, but I'm their nephew. I'm pretty much a rolling nephew. So anyway, that's past the point. Anyway, movie's going on, and she tells her that the little girl moved out of the aunt's house, and the and found a little cottage and planted like all these beautiful flowers and all this other stuff. And so Matilda comes upon the cottage, and says that the little girl in the story is you. So that means no. And then Miss Honey's like, yes, Aunt Trunchbull. And she tells her that, and they go inside, have some milk and cookies and all this other stuff. And then, see, pretty much that's the scene right there. And then they go to they're going getting all these milk and cookies, and they coming back. And Miss Trunchbull's about to, and then they decided to break it. They decided to go into Miss Trunchbull's house to get all her stuff that she left there, like a little china doll that Miss Honey's father gave her before he died, and okay, I lost my train of thought. And Miss Honey's dad used to call her Bumblebee, and used to call Trunchbull Agnes. Agnes, that sounds like the name of a bull. I mean, that sounds like the name of a bull. And if you just see Miss Trunchbull, she does look like a bull. She's like, this thing, a little red cape in front of her. But anyway, on with the story. They go into Miss Hunt. See, she look like a bull driving a car. And so they go into Miss Trunchbull's house, and she calls. Miss Trunchbull calls Matilda's father and complain about the car and says, "I'm going to sue you," and all this other stuff. And so she finds some clues about somebody in her house. Then Miss Trunchbull is chasing Miss Honey and Matilda all over the house, and then they finally escape. Narrowly escape. And so anyway, the next scene is going on. That's Miss Trunchbull eating her delicious chocolate cake. No wonder she's a big butt. She's eating all that chocolate cake. There was a big old piece of chocolate cake on her. Here, I'll show you. She needs all that, all them carbs. I don't even remember anything. Sorry. Trying to jump ahead to the next part. And so Matilda finds out that through her father's anger and everybody doubting her and all this other stuff, that she has a very unique power. She has the power of telekinesis, and as demonstrated in this scene right here. And she decides to use the telekinesis to have a little fun, and by pouring herself some Cheerios. See, this is all the people that's down her dad, Trunchbull, her mom, her dad again, her brother, her dad again. Pretty much all these voices in her head and that say, "You'll never amount to anything. You're just a kid. Shut up," doing all this other crap. Pretty much gives her the powers of telekinesis. And so she decides to have a little fun with them. And these are the two dudes that are investigating her dad. And she pretty much gets this tape right here that has all the evidence that they collected about her dad buying used stolen car parts, and she throws it away, as you can just see. And then so she decides to go to Miss Trunchbull's house, as in this scene right here. Gets Miss Honey's doll by using her powers, and because she never goes in the house because Miss Honey said, "Matilda, I don't want you to go in that house ever again." And it's like, "I promise." And she's true to her word. She never went back in the house. And this little bow right here, Matilda, whenever she's coming back down the stairs, whenever she's coming back down the ladder, she tells Miss Honey, she says, whenever she's coming back out ladder, and this doll right here, this little china doll, that's Miss Honey's doll that she left in her dad's house, because all this is her dad's house. And so Matilda decides to have a little fun by messing with Miss Trunchbull a little bit, making her believe that a ghost is haunting her. And Miss Trunchbull's like scared. I guess a raging bull does have their I guess a raging. This is one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. The portrait burns. The portrait of Miss Honey burns. Of Miss Trunchbull burns. And then Miss Trunchbull looks up and sees her biggest fear. Sees her biggest fear because Miss Trunchbull's anger is fed on fear. And she has a lot to be feared of. She killed her brother-in-law. These are all the shot puts. And that's Miss Trunchbull's brother-in-law, Miss Honey's dad. That's their brother-in-law because they have a love-hate relationship. They both hate each other. There is no love. The ultimate stare-off. And Matilda decides to mess with the clock a little bit. And so, oh yeah, this scene right here. Hang on, go back. Matilda's ribbon. Miss Trunchbull's like, I know who it is now. I know who was messing with me. And so Matilda goes to school the next day and gives Miss Honey the doll and says that I used my powers. And Miss Honey finally finds out about the powers. And then in this scene right here, we see Miss Trunchbull. She tells Miss Honey whenever she pulls up to the school, I will be teaching your class today. Look at that other woman. And she's pretty much lining all the kids up like it's army boot camp, and she's trying to get an answer about about who was at her house. And in this last few minutes of the movie, Miss Trunchbull finally gets her just desserts by pretty much being interrogated, making her think that the ghost of Agnes, Miss Honey's father, the ghost of Magnus, Miss Honey, Agatha, is Trunchbull. The ghost of Magnus, Miss Honey's father, is pretty much haunting her. Sorry. It's pretty much haunting her. And so Matilda is using all of her powers, as you can see in this part of it. Is she's saying, she's pretty much giving Miss Trunchbull her just desserts and having a little fun in the process. And so all this is going on. We're going to skip from scene to scene. Miss Trunchbull is pretty much getting all of that's coming back to her. You know that old saying, you reap what you sow? Well, pretty much Miss Trunchbull, is reaping what she's sowing right now by having all this crap done to her. And Matilda's having a little fun in the process too. And she's pretty much giving Miss Trunchbull what she deserves, as you can see right here. Greetings from Auburn Park, New Jersey. And everybody's like, what's going on? All the kids in the school are like, what's going on? And I would do the same thing to my principal if she treated me like that. And Miss Trunchbull is pretty much coming to the conclusion that she's being defeated. She's not the whole monarch that she thought she was. She's pretty much come to the fact that she's being defeated. Being defeated, and this is my favorite scene throughout the entire movie. At the end, whenever she's trying to get out the school, and everybody's like, "Yeah, come on, we're gonna take you on." And this is my favorite part right here. Hold on, go back. They're finally giving, and Bruce, this little boy right here, he's the main hero of the story. I'm not talking about, I don't mean Matilda. Bruce is the main hero of the story, in my opinion, for this scene right here. You want some cake, Trunchbull? I'm gonna make you eat cake. You made me humiliate myself eating cake. I'm gonna humiliate you. Take it, Trunchbull. Anyway. Okay, so Miss Trunchbull's never seen from again, and Miss Honey and Matilda end up living together. Sorry. End up living together. They end up signing the adoption papers. And everybody lives happily ever after. And Matilda. Harry's in the wormwood. And so anyway, yeah, that was Matilda. Pretty much a good story. I pretty much gave you the gist of it in about a 25-minute span. So yeah, anyway guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Be careful what you wish for, and have some fun out there. And also, if you treat somebody like crap, it's going to come back to you tenfold. So yeah, anyway guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and I will see y'all guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.